Hello and welcome. Good night. Good night. Uh, how is everybody saying? Good night sounds like I'm saying goodbye when I'm saying hello. Oh well. Anyways, let's get some things going here. We are live. Let's share this out to the usual sources. Uh, Facebook. Hey, Metal. How are you? Let's see. Discord. Going live. I guess we'll do Joshua. And of course, we'll be in the on air chat. There we go. Hey, Fitzjoseph, I'm having a peanut butter and strawberry jam sandwich. That sounds yummy. Yummy, yummy,
It
yummy
is.
in your tummy. Hello.
Howdy.
Why do I always get startled when somebody comes in and speaks?
I don't know.
Probably because as much as I'm hoping for it, I'm not expecting it.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, so I'm just bringing up
How
my.
are you doing?
Not bad. Went saw Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, okay. Was it better than the first one?
Um, I know I saw the first one. I'm gonna say I think it was a little bit better. I'm not. It's been a while since I saw the first one, so I remember it, but I don't. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't like the first one, so I'm hoping it's better than the first one.
No. Let's see. Fitzgerald
I
says,
think by default it has to be.
yeah. Yeah, you would hope so anyway. So, well, I think that it and the one, well, it and this one are definitely better than the original ones from the 90s or the thousands, early
Oh, I don't
thousand.
know. The original, like, was it 1994? Mortal Kombat is a great movie. The sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, trash.
Yeah.
They tried to cram two different games together into one movie. Everything about that movie was a mess, from pre-production down to completion.
Yeah. Fitzgerald says, I'm thinking about how Tom Holland version of Spider-Man can hold his own film. He needs big co-stars. He always needs big co-stars. Well, that's not him. That's Disney or whatever doing that. Um,
I reckon.
and then he says, "I have never even saw the first one." Well, I actually think it's worth seeing in theaters. You know, I didn't mind paying the price. I thought it was good enough for the money I paid. You know.
Uh, but like again, I don't really care about the Sprint franchise. Well, when
Yeah.
was the last time I
That's
played the
fine.
Mortal Kombat game? I think on an emulator a long time ago when I was a little kid. That was it.
Yeah.
See, my problem, Rick, it's not that I wouldn't see more movies in the theater, but currently, the nearest theater to me that show that at all, not even that would show things, but the nearest theater to me is like 20 miles away. I have to go a town over to get to it. So I'm very picky about which movies I end up seeing.
Yeah, I get that. I'd probably be the same way if I was there. Like for me, it's a bus ride away. Well, usually a bus ride away, which is about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm so far out in a newly developed area, there's not even an option for a bus ride.
Yeah, and
I ain't spending money on an Uber to get there.
oh yeah, I definitely get that. Like right now,
Usually in my case, because money shortage.
yeah, and actually because of my situation at the moment, I'm a little bit tight on money. I'm walking everywhere, so it takes me like an hour and 15 minutes to get to the area where the movie is from where I am. So, but I don't mind. I don't. I'm trying to lose weight, so that helps. So, I did a video for
an hour walk for a movie, but 20 miles away, that's like a 4-hour walk.
Yeah.
At my pace, even longer for most people. It's like 4 hours to watch a movie and then 4 hours back. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah,
now,
true.
If it's something I'm going to go see with Marsupial because he's got a car, that's different. But
yeah.
Usually my mom drives me to the movie theater with some money.
So,
Rick. Importantly, who are we drawing up today?
Trapjaw and Rocket Wrenches. And actually, earlier today, as you can see on my screen right now, I did a combination of Toad and Orko.
Yes, I see that. Yeah.
Torko.
That actually looked cool.
I recorded myself doing this. I'm going to try and get a few of these out in the next few weeks because obviously all the characters that I had planned, or I thought that, not planned, but, MASH put names to. I'm not going to be able to get all of them done. And I figure some short little videos, about 5 minutes or less, will do. And, I did this one earlier today. And I recorded myself. It's going to go out tomorrow morning. I'm going to put it out tomorrow morning.
If you get less than 3 minutes, you can use it as a short.
I also have good news. Mom ordered a new computer that may arrive tomorrow. So
congratulations.
Congrats. You just got to get all the stuff off the hard drive from the other one.
No, I can't recover it.
Oh, you can't? Well, usually you can take the hard drive out and plug it into something to plug it into the computer and possibly get files.
I can restore some stuff from stuff that's on the internet, but other stuff I'm just going to have to rebuild.
Yeah.
If you say so. I mean, I have a multi-dock USB port for basically every type of hard drive. So the only thing that stopped me from recovering my stuff with my old hard drive was that the hard drive itself was the thing that was fried. Specifically, water damage. Specifically, soda damage. But if the hard drive isn't the specific problem with the computer, you can use an external plug to get it back.
Okay. But I never figured out what the issue was with the other one. The repairman can fix it. So
yeah, well, I would, if you can, get the hard drive out of it just in case you can get a way to plug it in, making an external hard drive and plug it in and get the data off of it, at least.
Yeah, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that yourself, wrap it. Actually, a plastic bag's fine if you double Ziploc baggie it, right? So that to cut off the static electricity. Just mail it to me. I'll get everything off for you and put it in like a drive file or something.
Okay. Probably gonna have to look. I probably just give me your address and Discord. I might do it.
Yeah. That's if you get the drive out. Don't mail a whole laptop to me.
But okay, I was gonna mail the whole laptop. Yeah, but
Oh, I mean, sure. If you want to try that, it's going to be expensive. Like, if you actually just like open the laptop up, like the back of it, and get the hard drive out,
Yeah, it's fairly.
not expensive at all to mail because it's light.
Yeah, and it's fairly easy to open up the back and get it out and all that.
not at all. Not on this laptop. It takes a lot. It takes a lot just to get that thing open.
Well, there should be a little spot at the back where the hard drive is, and you
if
just
it's an older
unscrew.
one, Rick.
Yeah.
A lot of them you have to unscrew the entire back. Now, I mean, all hard drives are not mounted directly to the board. They haven't done that since like 2008. But older laptops, you have to like remove 20 different screws, some of them that are hidden under other things, to be able to get the back off.
Exactly. That's how this laptop is.
It could be a little difficult. But all of them, after definitely into the 10s, have a separate solid state hard drive that can be removed. It just takes work.
Yeah. And I guess it's. I guess I'm thinking fairly simple compared to a lot of things out there to do.
Yeah, well, a lot of newer ones have like a completely different dock for the hard drive. Like the one I have here, there's just a panel I can remove like 3 screws on, right? Like one in like the lip and then 2 in the other corners, and then I could just pull the hard drive right out and put a new one in. I also have a separate panel for changing the RAM, but I have a gaming laptop that's built specifically for upgrading and stuff, so that's why it's that way.
Yeah.
I could put more RAM in my computer. That is an option. I don't know if that would solve everything, because I think one of my big problems now is my VRAM, which I can't fix because the graphics chip is soldered directly to the board. There's not really much to do upgrading with that. I mean, it's possible, but that is what we call a true pain in the neck. But RAM, if it was just a RAM shortage, and I am short on RAM, I could put more RAM in there. That I have the option for that at least.
Yeah. So, actually, with seeing Mortal Kombat 2 today, it inspired me for after this is done.
You'll
After
do a mashup of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. I already guessed.
yes, you were right. We could call it Mortal Fighter. Actually, I got a few names. I might do.
Combat.
Yeah, that was one of them too.
It's way better than Mortal Fighter.
Okay,
Combat.
I've got 3 or 4 of them that I might put a poll up on my whatchamacallit tab and see what people go for.
Oh, yeah. I assume you're gonna do that because 2 big brand name movies are coming out. So
Well, guess what?
This would be a classic. This would be like mashing together Marvel and DC stuff.
Yeah, that.
I know because
Yeah.
the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter are direct competitors. So
Well, they were for the longest time.
they were.
Wouldn't say so much now.
Because Mortal Kombat reboots all the damn time, and
Well, they also just don't get the sales that they.
Yeah.
Some of them do, but Mortal Kombat's like in this really weird circumstance that it can be popular and unpopular at the same time. Like you could see a Mortal Kombat game sell 5 million to 10 million units, and then also nobody's ever heard of that Mortal Kombat game.
we get a lot of guest characters. Like I remember when I was a kid, like 9, they had Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat or something. But then later, but then eventually we got to like having Omni Man and not Mark in Mortal Kombat. Like, huh?
Well, they had that. Well, they did a DC Mortal Kombat game too.
I know they did a crossover. That was
Yep.
a crossover though. That was a direct crossover. But I'm like, why have not have Invincible, but you have Omni Man? I'm like,
Because Omni-Man's the more popular character.
yeah, because Invincible's
Everyone
not
likes
that good of a
Omni-Man more than Invincible. Like, come on.
yeah, but Invincible's not that good of a character. Anyway, it's kind of a boring character. Initially. But even then later he's just like kind of like some kind of a mentally scarred Superman analog. I'm like, that's not it's like a less interesting Century. So I'm like,
Yeah, it
whatever.
actually feels like because I could definitely tell that Kirkman watched Dragon Ball. It's kind of evident, right? That it feels like he's one of many people who is not okay with, say, like Vegeta's redemption arc of oh, I'm a good guy now. Just like suddenly, even though this guy has destroyed entire civilizations, genocided planets, almost destroyed the Earth, but it's all cool because he's got a wife and a kid now, right? So he's definitely not a threat to the planet that his wife and kid lives on. There was a lot of people who just aren't cool with that. They don't think it works, even though it fits in the like Buddhist framing of Dragon Ball very much. So like Omni-Man is kind of going through the tonal redemption arc that a lot of those people would have preferred Vegeta go through.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, but I'm talking about like what's Mark thing? Like Mark feels like a less interesting Century to me. Like a mentally scarred Superman analog. That's what.
Yeah. Well, they're both to me. They're both interesting. You know, he's supposed to be a different type of character. You know,
Not
and
really. Not really. Just not really. Like from everything about the characters, is not really that interesting.
well, not to you.
For me, Mark feels, even though he's got that power set, in the story, he feels less like Superman and more like Spider-Man. He feels more like an analog for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, Spider Man still has Uncle Ben and the more always motivating to be heroic. With great power comes great responsibility and whatnot. With Mark, he just feels like he feels more like a Venture Bros character, but it's taken seriously.
Well,
I just don't agree with that. Like almost at all.
Yeah, well, Mark wants, well, at least the continuity that they're showing, he wants to do the right thing because it's the right thing. He struggles with what the right thing is, and thus, in some ways, that's exactly as Metal said, Peter Parker.
Yeah, his
Peter.
Uncle Ben moment is actually pretty clear if you think about it, and he basically lost his father, right? Because you're like, well, Nolan's still there, but he never was, right? He had an image, like this imaginary version of his father that he looked up to all his life that convinced him to go do the thing that he wanted to do, and then he found out who his father really was, and it's like, my father's dead, basically.
So okay, now the story is about him still trying to be the opposite of his father and screwing up at that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just don't care.
It's fine if you don't care.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine if you don't care. Some of us, though, like, I don't think it's the greatest story ever or anything, especially in, like, superhero comics or whatever. But it's, like, a compelling enough story that I would go through it all the way. Especially because it's not that long, right? If you want to talk about, like, catching up to superheroes or whatever, right? Try reading everything for Superman. Invincible total is, like, 12 volumes. It's 144 issues. You can read through it like nothing.
Yeah, actually, I think, is it 144? I thought it was just like 107 or something like that.
I think it's like total 144 because you have to count the crossovers and other stuff that are canon to it.
Okay. And yeah, nobody, like I said, especially here, nobody here is expecting everybody to like everything, you know?
Yeah, I don't even like it that much, but I do like it on the few merits it actually deserves.
Nah, because but I don't really like on any level. I don't like the characters, and I don't like how any pretty much anything about it, anything about how the story is written. So
Yeah, and like we said, that's all right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to watch it.
You know what I don't like? Rehashing the same conversation for the 50th time.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, that, and I'm also kind of mentally fatigued. This rule book is kicking my butt. It's like I know exactly how I want everything, but writing it down into a way that everybody can understand, that's the complicated part.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw. Well, obviously, I saw that part that you sent me. I never. Oh, I read your comment with it.
Oh, I didn't expect you to read it. I just left it there in case you wanted to.
Okay.
But between that and then I had to write like some examples and stuff for it too, so people could understand. I think it took me 3 hours collectively to finish the task check section. I'm happy with it though. I think I got it in a way that people can understand it very easily, and I broke it down in a way that makes it very easy for people too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, man, just typing away, and even the things that I know I want to do, I have to adjust them. Right, once the thing in your head actually hits the paper, and you have to start doing examples and testing your theory and stuff, it is very fatiguing to just sit here and chip away at creating a rule set. So I hope you're going to be happy with it, Rick. When I'm
Sure. I'll say I am now.
things that I do actually like, I do find funny, so someone create a monster to brainwash teenage boys into having orgies with it.
Why do you always need to talk about sex every single time you come on?
And then and then and then a bunch of girls all killed the monster. But that was from Frankenfran. But that was yeah. Well, like that.
Like we're just having an innocuous conversation, and then you have to bring up orgies.
I don't know. No, those stuff I read when watch. I don't know.
He's got
Then
sex
again,
on the brain.
I'm also writing stories about killing sexually charged characters. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Now, people people claim they're getting tired of me wanting to write stories about this.
I
Because
think
I hate
people
semantics.
in general are just more tired of you saying you're going to write a story about it and having to hear about it all the time. While if you actually had the story and an audience, I think people would probably be
Yeah, but I don't have the
a
money to
lot
do
less
anything.
visceral about it.
Anything. Unless I decide to kill the shop owners of every single business that refuse to hire me, and then steal their money. Then
See,
maybe
why
I
does
can
your
point
brain
then.
go exactly like straight there? You know, most of us make stuff with almost no money at all.
Yeah. Look at me. And like, I was doing stuff on my comics for 30 years before I made a cent off of it. And I'm still not sure
You
whether.
started paying people for stuff too.
Yeah. Uh, I'm still not sure whether I made a cent. Sure, I've made sales. And
Money's come in, but you have to like subtract what you spent on it too, and you're like, you know.
Usually because some anime that I hate, but then again, then anime is just kind of just one thing. So I mean, that's how it kind of seems like a lot of times.
You know, Rick, actually, you need to be tracking all that stuff because you end up spending more making your comics than you make off selling them. You could be like positive in the tax credit regard.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I'm not even claiming that sort of stuff. You know, like because what I'm spending on it, what I'm making. I know I'm probably not making any money, and
But if you're losing money, that could actually be good for you tax wise.
well, guess what? I'm already under the thing where it's not.
I don't even have to file taxes. That's how little I make a year.
Did you know? Watching it, even though this is an older show, watching Little Witch Academia is like the first anime in 2 years I've seen that has no sexual content in it at all.
Then you're watching the wrong animes.
Well, except in that one, I guess maybe he's watching the right one.
Yeah, because
that's the only. Because
Go ahead.
That's the only anime I've seen that's actually appropriate for children by American standards. So, like I
watch stuff all the time that's appropriate for children by American standards. One that I'm watching currently is actually the which I was waiting on it back when we were still doing Super Serial Showtime. It was one of the ones I talked about that was coming up. Was Witch Hat Atelier. I would totally let kids watch Witch Hat Atelier.
Now I watched the first 2 episodes. I don't have much interest in the characters.
Yeah, but then again, I think most of the ones that don't involve that would be appropriate for children, he doesn't like My Hero Academia.
No.
That would sketchy. I would show a preteen that, but maybe probably not anyone below that.
JoJo's Bizarre.
Early on is pretty gory.
Yeah, gory, but not sexual.
Well, yeah, me have Mineta, so.
But Witch Hat, you can not like it, but I've been shown a modern example of something that, at least so far, no sex, no gore, nice action. It's pretty good action. It's a bit of a girly show, sure, but it's about friendship and learning, like education and stuff like that. There's mystery. It's actually pretty smart too. A lot of the way they handle magic is more akin to magically fueled alchemy than not, but it really follows the way a lot of people saw magic historically, in which there wasn't anything special about it, though. To keep magic under wraps, they lie to people and tell everyone it's special about it. But it's something that's like very relational and language based.
Okay, but I know. I've seen the first 2 episodes. An
audience may be watching this VOD, Fizz. I need to explain it for them.
It's just that I don't find the characters that interesting in comparison to like Little Witch Academia.
So, yeah.
Also, Rick is here in the conversation too. Maybe he would like some context on what we're talking about.
Yeah, because, as Metal knows, I probably never heard of 90% or 95% of these, maybe even 99% of these animes that you guys talk about.
Yeah. This one's really new, too. Like, the manga is, like a few years old now, but the anime just started this season.
Okay.
There's like 6 of them. Like it's really new. So if you're not like watching seasonal anime, I wouldn't expect you to know it.
Yeah. Which I think it's pretty obvious that I don't watch seasonal anime. Well, the closest I've done to that lately is My Hero Academia.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, I've heard.
Well, actually, the manga is. Did the show ever catch up? I forget.
I don't know. I missed. I
stopped watching the show a long time ago.
It's
so boring.
I stopped, but not because it got boring or anything. Just because I forgot to start looking it up for the next season.
Yes, okay. It did catch up to the end of the series. Has finished as of season 8. I don't watch it, so I knew it was on the way, but I didn't know if it did. The finale was December of this last year.
Okay, so I've got a few. I can go and download it or whatever. Go somewhere and watch it.
And actually, apparently, there was a special episode. I guess you might call it like back in the day an OVA or whatever. No, well, I think it would have been a TV special because this would have aired on TV. That adapted the epilogue just May 2nd. That I'm only finding out about now because I'm reading about it. I probably would have never learned of that otherwise.
Yeah, I know. Vigilantes have something sexual in it for us, but I didn't even bother watching that because I don't care about my academic universe.
Oh, dude, Vigilante though was so much better than My Hero. I'll probably go back and reread it and catch up to it later, but even at the beginning, I was enjoying it way better. I think it handles the world and material better, mostly because the main characters I think I like more is probably the main thing. This is none of like, I would say none of them. I did like Ochaco. Ochaco's pretty good, but most of the main characters I personally did not care for, and I think that's probably a lot of what lost my interest in My Hero.
The main issue I had is just too many characters and not clear enough focus. A lot of these extra characters eat up screen time.
Yeah, so don't ever read any like '90s X-Men.
I don't like the X-Men. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You talk to someone who doesn't like
the
X-Men.
exact same thing. There'll be like a mutant that got introduced for just that issue, with like a weird power, and then you never see him again.
Exactly.
But they'll talk about him like he's, because everybody's just some random person at the mansion. They'll talk about like he's always been there, right? They'll be like, "Hey, Frank," or whatever, and then just like you never see this guy again.
Exactly. I'm a person who doesn't like the X-Men. The X-Men don't even feel like they fit in the Marvel universe. Like from a story standpoint. I mean,
yeah.
I'm supposed to believe people hate mutants, yet they accept all this power beings.
I definitely agree with that. I like X-Men more when they're kind of just separated from everything.
I'm supposed to believe that. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I know why the Stan Lee got tired of figuring out different ways people can get exposed to radiation. So he said this is born with their powers. But I'm like that when there's this story concept of people hating mutants, this doesn't make sense.
I've thought of several ways that they could rectify it. They'll never do them, but I've thought of a few that I think even like longtime fans would be okay with. But it brings back concepts like the punch dimension. And I wouldn't be using the punch dimension exactly, but I would be using some concepts like that. And I don't know, there's some people that it's kind of hard to sell them on something like the punch dimension.
Oh, what is the punch dimension of it?
That's where Cyclops' blast.
Oh yeah.
They're kinetic.
Cyclops,
they're not lasers.
Yeah, not lasers. They were repulsive blast. Something.
Yep. They're kinetic energy.
Okay, I did not. I thought they were natural. I thought they were natural. I didn't realize they came from another dimension.
Yep. They're basically a punch in laser form.
So like Hadouken.
Yeah.
Hadouken vision.
More or less. It's like having a key blast in his eyes.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I probably thought it was something like Superman's heat vision.
Yes, lasers. No.
And Colossus's body, like the metal from him, his second skin, also comes from its own dimension.
Okay, when
It's stored when he's not in that form. That was from the original X-Men.
They said that way back when?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For both these characters?
A lot of this stuff. Yeah. These are from the original runs.
Okay.
But so like the way I would rectify that is like I would take the whole this stuff comes from like another dimension angle, but I would put them all into the same one, right? So you know how like the almost like demonic-esque characters, like how like Nightcrawler goes through another dimension for his teleports, or how like magic is connected to it or whatever. And there's like this almost like fiendish realm. I would just connect the X gene and everyone's powers to this fiendish realm. Like all the powers kind of come from that. It's just the gene is like a conduit for it and expresses itself differently in different people, like a radio transmitter. And that way, you would then also give justification for bringing back the Purifiers, which is one of the best like enemy groups in X-Men history. You can bring them back because they have like a really good specific reason to hate the X-Men, because they have like fiend or demonic influence built into them even when they're good guys. And that could also give a reason why so many other people in the Marvel universe specifically don't trust the mutants with the X gene compared to other people with superpowers.
Yeah. Okay, so
Now, me personally, in my universe, I'm creating the Cape Link universe. I'm just making it so that everyone born with powers in that from a gene is just evil.
I like the
let's
build
nail
on
it.
this guy, Rick.
pardon?
Like I like the build on this guy, the body plan.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Rocky Wrenches is, a bigger type character, because he's
He's
groundhoggers.
actually kind of small, right?
Or-
Smaller than Mario, but he's round.
So I say in my universe, I'm just making it so that everyone who isn't an alien born with superpowers is evil. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's
Everyone
for...
says Lockjaw Smurf.
This is Wrenchjaw. This is Wrenchjaw.
Wrenchjaw. That's a good name. I like Wrenchjaw, yeah.
Because
Who else?
Rocky Wrench Trapjaw is one of Skeletor's minions.
Yeah, you could also call it
yeah.
Trap It Wrench as an alternative too, but I like the other one. I think it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I did was I took the wrench and made it into his jaw. For the Trapjaw's jaw.
I don't know a lot about He-Man. I only saw like one episode back when I was a little kid. I never cared about it.
Well, dude, He-Man's fun.
Yeah, both. Well, I wouldn't say both. I can't. Well, I won't say all. I'll say the original and the 2002.
Yeah. And luckily though, because it's only really had those, the Kevin Smith continuation, and
Actually,
2 movies.
I must correct myself. Although I really don't want to call it He-Man, but the CGI animated one that was out at the same time as Kevin Smith's is pretty good too, in my opinion.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I can't judge it. But I would say that there's been so little He-Man stuff that having 2 really good series still make it overall a good franchise.
Yeah. Raul says that squirrel kind of looks familiar. Well, I don't think it's a squirrel. It's a groundhog, I think, maybe, or a mole.
It's a mole. Because they even explain later with the a relative that comes out in the next big Mario game, the Monty mole. So like the rocket wrenches are put in the same category retroactively. I think they were always intended to be moles.
Yeah. So yeah.
It makes sense though as gophers though, because they pop up and down on the ground. They're probably like they're just ambiguously ground rodents.
Yeah. But yeah, I decided to make him a little bit more rotund because of, Rocky Wrench, including him, and then then you're making him into a little bit more taller humanoid like Trapjaw, and then putting on some of Trapjaw's features and trying to more use Rocky's face here, and I use his goggles and feet and hands too. Although I give him a thumb, just because it works with having the wrench in the hand. Now, of course, this is just getting the initial stuff on there, and I'm using stuff from the 2002 as well as the original for Trapjaw.
Rocky Wrench. I think I've mentioned this before when you were talking about the characters you do. Was always one of my favorite Mario enemies. I just love the design and the function. He's just like this little turd pops up out of the ground and throws this projectile at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I've never played a Mario game ever.
Oh, it's from my favorite one, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Well, I feel sorry for you, Fitzgerald.
I never had video game consoles as a kid, so last stuff I just never played.
Yeah,
Well,
well, you can always play it when you get your new computer because NES games are super easy to emulate.
Yeah. I could argue.
Most parts don't about old games like low platforms like Mario. I just don't care. I mostly played Sonic on emulators when I was a kid. I just never, yeah, but I never cared about the NES emulators. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all
probably couldn't now. I'd have to like rebuild up the mechanics to do it. But at one point, I was able to beat Mario 3 in like 8 minutes.
I think I have a friend that would have come close to that. We could, you know, he was really into playing Super. He played it a lot every day. For some
One.
yeah.
I keep it on my my 3DS here. And so sometimes if I get bored and I need to like refocus, right? Like let the mental fatigue go away for a bit. I'll just pop it up and I'll do like the first world of Super Mario Brothers 3 and then close it.
also I've been thinking to myself, what is the point of Skinamax movies? The Cinemax movies. What's the point of these shows?
Where did that come from?
I was thinking about like guys, no, like gushing over magical girls. It's a Japanese.
I don't want to talk
show.
about gushing over magical girls.
And the thing is, like, what's the point of a Cinemax show? That's how I got to that topic.
Okay.
What's the point? What's the point of these Cinemax TV shows? Because I remember when I was a kid, I saw like the Girlfriend Experience.
Okay.
Like, what's the point?
What's the point? To entertain somebody in another way and make money.
That's it. You know, that's it. People watch them.
Entertain people and make money. Maybe you're not one of them.
This Girlfriend Experience, every episode is basically a sex scene. I'm like, how much do you pay these actors to star in not porn?
Why are you so obsessed with this?
Because think about it, they're not actually having sex, but sex scenes most of the shows. I'm like,
no, here's the thing, I don't think about it. That's why it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
like,
You're probably better not to try and think about it. Well, maybe that's why he's thinking about it, because he's trying not to think about it.
same like that HBO show, The Girls. I remember that show, Girls. Like, what was the point? Like every episode, half every episode a sex scene. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because there's people who watch it. That's what.
Yeah. You may not get it, and again, as we've said a billion times, that's fine. But you know what? What's the point of it? Is to entertain people. That's why they make all this stuff, to entertain people and make money. Some of it entertains some people, some of it entertains other people. If it's not entertaining you, you know what? That's fine. Watch what entertains you. And don't worry about the other stuff.
This kind of reminds me of, I have a friend. I'm not going to use his actual name. But he used to run a very popular Facebook page called Splashing Magikarp. He's been in some of my sketch videos, and I think even on the Vomitorium like way back, but none of those episodes are available anymore. The sketches are. But he, for some reason, which I get it, this guy was kind of a creep, but he was just so obsessed with how awful Onision was, which you probably don't know who Onision is. You don't need to know who he is for the sake of this conversation. I'm not even going to explain it. But like this content creator just bothered him so much. And I'm like, and he would talk about it sometimes when we're on the air. He'd talk about it sometimes on his stuff that he would upload. I'm like, you know, by thinking about this, by giving him attention, by talking about it too, especially on air, you are actually making the problem worse, not better. You know, it'd be better to just not talk about him at all, like ever. Especially every single time we go out to get like pizza or something. I don't want to hear it for like the 50th time.
Yeah, as we've said, try and focus on stuff that you do like, and try and focus a little bit on what's going on in the conversation. And if you don't have anything to add, it's all right. How many times you and Metal are talking, and I can shut up and let you talk.
That's actually because it's easier for you to draw when you're not talking, so it's just free content on your channel.
Well, that's true too.
Sugarcoat it, Rick.
Well, that's part of it too, but I do like to engage in the conversation every once in a while, instead of just focusing on what I'm doing. Raul says, what's going on with the lower jaw? Well, I'm trying to make a wrench, combine a wrench with Trapjaw's bottom jaw. So...
And he's still trying to figure it out a bit.
Yeah, and I'm trying to have some nuts, coming off his head, for that, so the wrench attaches onto for the the wrench ends. Yeah, I just got it basically in there, of course, as you can see.
They're more like bolts.
Yeah, bolts.
The nut's the bit you screw onto the other end of the bolt to keep it tight.
Yeah.
I also thought to realize this. There's only one Marvel Comics character that I actually been interested in writing for if I was ever assigned to it.
Oh well, that's never gonna happen. But what character?
I know. I mean, even if I did become a successful comic writer, I'll never be assigned to work at Marvel.
The question is, would you want to work at Marvel? Really?
Probably not.
Guess what? Me neither.
I've never had the desire.
But they can't guess that one character is.
No, I mean, maybe if I tried, but I just don't feel like it.
That one character is Daredevil, and you want to know why, right?
Not really, but you can tell us.
It's because that's one of the few characters where I can actually do a unique take on it instead of just rehash what came before.
And you know what? That's the worst reason why.
Oh yeah, because there's literally everybody who's always ruined the characters. That's the exact opinion that they always have going into it.
Because with Daredevil, do you know how much of Daredevil's his history got thrown away after a certain point?
Yeah, most of it.
Yeah, just like almost every character at some point, it seems.
No. By like early on, like by the time of the 70s, as soon as Frank Miller came on, most of Daredevil's history just got thrown away.
Yeah, most things Frank Miller worked on.
Yeah, and you want to know something? If you go and look at the original Superman compared to the 70s stuff, all the stuff was pretty much thrown away from the 70s. All the crap, the stupidity.
Oh, yeah, there used to be like a Kryptonian animal of every single type.
I know that right. But did you know pretty much of everything about Daredevil from his first appearance when Stan Lee created the character, from everything all the way through like most of the first half of the 70s got thrown out when Frank Miller came on and stayed like that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it.
But that's the thing is that's happened to pretty much every character Frank Miller has touched. Even looking at Batman now, the only version of Batman that matters is everything that evolved out of Frank Miller's Batman.
Well, everything evolved. Well, there are some stuff that from Denny O'Neill's run that people keep, but.
And do you know why Frank Miller destroyed it like that, like you were saying? Because he wanted to do his own unique take.
Yeah, but me personally, if I was to write Daredevil, I'd bring a lot of that stuff back. That old Silver Age stuff back.
Well, I guess that's good.
But then again, but probably never get a chance to like make anything.
Yeah, well, you know what? You know what you could do if you wanted to with that? Write some fan fiction. And, you know,
Yep.
read it on air and see whether people get some interest.
I mean, one fan fiction that isn't spite based that I thought of recently is, what if you put Doctor Who, had Doctor Who, Frankenfran, and Rick and Morty crossover? That'll be fun.
You know
Yeah,
what?
there's entire sites that are great for posting stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, write some, you know, you're not doing writing your own stuff, write some fan fiction, you know, to get some.
I just thought if you put the Doctor, Fran, and Rick all in the same room, they will all hate each other.
And see, there is what you would need. Do that. They all hate each other, but they've got to work together to get along to solve the problem, whatever it is. They got to put aside their differences for the greater good of whatever needs to be done. Let's see what else. Is what we'll say here. Watching you guys battle is so funny. Pure ratings. And then he says Rocky the rodent is mad. Butcher Rick's art time. Just kidding. This show is wild. Haha. I like it, Fizz. Write it all. Yeah.
I think it's still active, though. You have to put filters on if you want to surf it. But there's an entire site dedicated to stuff like that called fanfiction.net.
Okay.
It's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah, you can.
With that site, it's like I would probably host it elsewhere. I mean, you could still host it there. I just wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. Because while you can still find a lot of tame fan fiction that's exactly that type of stuff.
I know. Live is just smart.
Yeah, it dominates fanfiction.net.
I know, but I wouldn't be even reading other people's stuff. I would just be putting my own stuff up there.
Yeah, but you want to know something? A lot of people are doing that now and having some AI voice read it. You know, getting this stuff together and putting it on YouTube and putting pictures with it.
I wouldn't even do that. No, wouldn't care.
Well, Fizz, that's a great way to bring attention to your channels and get people engaged.
No, I agree with him though. Like, that's something you just not even care about. Like it's just a completely different venture.
Yeah, I get that, but I guess I was thinking about it just like when I started doing fan art here, and I'm still doing again now, is to draw people to my channel to get them into my stuff as well. You know, that's why I was thinking about doing that. He might want to do that. You know, but he does.
It's also a pretty good place for stuff like because fan fiction has been on DeviantArt forever.
I know, Ray. I already upload my own stories on DeviantArt under a pen name. But I know you never will read Frank and Fran, but like how would you imagine any interaction between the Doctor and Rick would go down?
Why are you asking?
I'm asking. I already got a picture in my mind how that would go, but I'm asking
No, you know, you got your picture. I don't want to flavor it.
I got my own picture, but what do you think would happen personally?
I don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Raul joking around says, eating a sandwich, munch, munch, munch. I think Fizz should be a villain in the Canadian Shield book. The Fizz Man versus Canadian Shield.
I don't want to dedicate the brain space to creating this model. You know, I don't wanna. I have to build a model. I mean, I already kind of have a model of Rick Sanchez that I'm trying to get rid of from my head, but like I have to build a model of each of these characters and then run them interacting with each other, and who knows how long they're gonna live in my head? No, thank you. I'm good.
What? You don't have a model of the Doctor? Wow. How much of Doctor have you seen? Like what?
Oh, dude,
Like,
the number I told you, all of my information in Doctor Who is basically through osmosis of knowing people in real life that are really into Doctor Who. I could probably count the number of episodes I've ever seen of Doctor Who on one hand.
Damn, because I pretty much watched. I've watched way more Doctor Who than you, because I was really into Doctor Who when I was a kid.
Absolutely,
So.
I would have assumed that.
Yeah, well,
People have seen more episodes of Doctor Who than me. I'm not into it.
my mom was into it, and I watched the '80s one with her. With I forget what his name is, Tom Harper or Tom something. That's the Doctor I like the best, and Tom Baker. That's the one that I like the best for the Doctors. I've seen a couple of the other ones. My friends were watching it. The newer stuff. 10, 15 years ago, and it was all right, but I like the original better.
I prefer the Mighty Boosh. I think that's a much better show.
Yeah, I ain't seen a lot of the old ones, but I've seen David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Capaldi. Some of Capaldi. So. I don't know what the Mighty Boosh is.
Oh, it's a fun British program.
I never actually saw Torchwood for myself though. Probably will have to watch. I know that's if you don't know. If you don't know, Torchwood was that a TVMA rated spinoff of Doctor Who they had back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. That was like rated R and stuff.
Royal says that gerbil looks like he's throwing a wrench at Fizz, Joseph.
Yeah, like Rick, I know you've probably never ever seen an episode of The Mighty Boosh, but due to playing the tabletop RPG with us, you do know of at least one thing from The Mighty Boosh.
I do.
Yeah, and that's because I put Old Greg in the flooded plaza.
Oh, okay.
You remember Gregory the Ancient, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Ended up with his tutu and started going insane.
Yeah. But is that because of the tutu or because of other things?
I don't know. It's probably a combination of things. He's probably just having like a pseudo One Ring, my precious moment, just because everything else is also driving him insane.
Yeah, the blight. Not being able to help his people with the blight.
I was thinking more of having to deal with Manly Cougar on a daily basis, but... Also, almost getting eaten by dinosaurs multiple times probably didn't help.
Yeah.
Nearly drowning in a lake.
Which
Cougar with him.
Which is just hilarious in itself because of the size difference.
Oh yeah. Like, he got a crit, Like, what can I say?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it says the Mighty what? That ain't Canadian, boy.
The Mighty Boosh. It technically, so what the Mighty Boosh is, it's two actors. I can never remember Julian's last name, but Noel Fielding is the other one. They have a stage show that they did where they play these characters, Howard Moon and Vincent. Why am I forgetting Vincent's last name? Anyway, just Howard and Vincent. And they're like two totally different people, musically speaking, that are trying to do a band thing together, right? And the whole thing, it's like just very absurdist comedy. And on stage, they would play just about every character. Sometimes they'd bring some of their friends on for stuff. But then they got a TV program for their kind of like stage show, and the TV program is basically still just like the stage show, but with a budget. So they have like sets and props and stuff like that, and they have regular people that are on with it. But occasionally, they will still end up playing all of the characters. So you'll get like a scene where they split into an A plot and a B plot. So Julian will play all of the, or like the main other character that Noel ends up meeting during his plot, and Noel will play like the other main character that Julian ends up meeting in his plot. In the case of The Legend of Old Greg, Noel ended up playing Old Greg. But it's just like one of those really low budget, really wacky, absurdist kind of things where it's kind of playing into that sort of like mystery, fantasy, sci-fi area. You can kind of, that Doctor Who plays in and a bunch of other things like that. You can kind of tell just from the opening scroll, if you haven't even seen the opening theme, if you haven't seen a single episode. But you can see that like they're definitely influenced by things like The Hitchhiker's Guide and a bunch of other like,
Probably British stuff.
in their case, many very, very British stuff. Yes, like I'm sure Monty Python has probably influenced a lot of their stuff too. It's got like I think 2 seasons, but great show. Used to air on Adult Swim here in the States for a while. The Mighty Boosh.
Roll says that arm is coming out good. Rick. Keep up, son. Son? I'm old enough to be your dad. I think you got this situation the other way around. Wrong way around.
Yeah. Rick, did you watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place?
I think so.
'Cause I remember Evan was showing it, and I think maybe it was in your server.
Yeah, I think I watched it. We might have watched it together or whatever. I forget.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because some of the same people who ended up working on that were also on Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It's that kind of like absurdist humor.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some British stuff. Like Are You Being Served? I've seen a little bit of Monty Python. I know.
I ain't seen either.
Faulty Towers. I've seen a little bit of.
Faulty Towers is
Ain't
pretty
seen any of that.
You haven't seen any of it? I'm.
No.
Well, probably not into British stuff. And I'm not that I'm into a lot of British stuff either, but it is a lot of older British stuff too, so.
Mr. Bean.
I've seen that. I've seen
yeah.
Mr.
Some
Bean.
old British stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's British. I've seen Mr. Bean.
But yeah, have you ever seen Rick IT Crowd?
That I don't think I've seen.
I think you would like IT Crowd. It's a British sitcom. It's got a little bit of that absurdist humor, but it's more like a traditional 3-panel sitcom, and it is about the kind of like IT office at a big company, and you follow like the guys who have to like solve all of the computer problems and stuff, and they're total nerds. It's funny. In fact, I would say it does the job that Big Bang Theory was trying to do with like geek and nerd culture better. Like it actually hits the mark instead of missing it like Big Bang Theory did.
Okay. I like Big Bang Theory myself.
Yeah.
I'm still hesitant to watch Young Sheldon. So, because I heard it was better, but I just didn't like the original show. So, like, well, I'm going to watch the spinoff about Kid Sheldon.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fine. Or that's fair, if like, yeah, it may be better, but it's attached to a property that I like them probably equally myself, but in fact, that's another show that, unfortunately, a lot of shows and stuff that I was watching around the time of my mom's demise, I'm no longer watching. And not necessarily because of her death, but just my life has turned upside down. Flip turned upside down. To
Yeah.
quote some song lyrics from a TV show.
Yeah, from the Fresh Prince. Yeah, I was never really into Big Bang Theory. I love the music though because the main theme was done by my favorite band, the Bare Naked Ladies,
Yeah.
and then a lot of their other music was used all across like the first and I think even second season. It just my problem was it wasn't that funny. It relies really heavily on the laugh track. You should see
I
how
know.
silent that show is if you take the laugh track out. But
I know. I've
also,
seen edits of the show about the laugh track before.
it was
It's,
really insulting. Like I remember everybody like, telling me, "Oh, you need to watch this." It really embraces the stuff we like, right? My friends would tell me that, and then I watch it. It's like, this doesn't embrace the stuff we like at all. All it does is make fun of it. This is at best a backhanded compliment.
At least needs the laugh track to tell you what the joke even is. Because without the laugh track, you would not even know what the joke even is. A lot of times.
I think I would because I'm not sure whether I laugh with the laugh track or not. I forget. It's one that I rewatched. But another sitcom that I liked was Reba.
I liked Reba. Reba was pretty good.
Now, does this guy normally have 3 or 4 claws?
What's the main thing that turns you off from seeing a single episode of Doctor Who, Metal?
Well, I have seen a single episode. I've seen enough to probably fill a hand. It's really hard to explain.
Were you turned off by it, or just not really interested in it?
Oh, I think to some degree it might be the same. Well, first I realized because I think part of it too is everybody tried to sell me it as sci-fi, but it's not like sci-fi at all. It's all fantasy.
I know. It's basically a fantasy show, but it's a wizard in space.
Yeah, it's basically like a Welsh fairy tale, but with like a sci-fi aesthetic.
No.
I think maybe too. I might have come too late. Like if I went back and I watched the original Doctor Who, like back when it was first airing. God, how many years ago was it? Like in the '60s, I think, when it first started airing.
Oh, I think the 50s maybe, because it was
no 1963. That's the year Doctor Who came out. The same year JFK got shot.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere around there. Like, if I saw that, I probably enjoyed it a lot more. It's just like the stuff I saw felt really, really pretentious. Like it was high on its own farts.
What was the first stuff that you were watching of it?
I think the first one I've ever saw, Tenet, was the Doctor.
Okay, I'm not even sure who that is. Hey, Mike.
David Tennant.
David. Oh, so that's more modern.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw it. That's why I said, like, if I went back, I might enjoy some, like, older ones, but I've not enjoyed any modern one anytime it's been showed. Even because the same friends, they talk about it a lot. They're like, "Oh, it's a different Doctor now. Maybe you'd like it." So then they'll show me like an episode from the new Doctor. And it's like I still don't like it. Like it would just repeat every new one.
Yeah, I would maybe. I don't know about the original. I know it was black and white, and I know that probably doesn't matter to you. I would suggest the Tom Baker era.
To me at all.
I would suggest the Tom.
Back then, I've seen clips of it. It's still kind of the same as back then. The first Doctor had like a magic box that could do anything, kind of like the infinite probability drive from Hitchhikers.
Well, that's the thing. So Douglas Adams used to write on Doctor Who. I
I
probably
know.
would enjoy the era where he was writing, realistically
I
speaking.
know. He used to write on. He used to write on Doctor. I know.
Like if I was going to go back and watch anything, I would just like watch stuff that he wrote, and I would probably enjoy it.
As I was trying to suggest, I would suggest the Tom Baker era.
That's
Yeah,
the
I-
70s.
So, if you want to try and watch it anyway, like, obviously nobody's.
Yeah, I've got so many things to watch, but
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm gonna put this on another layer just because I want to get
let's
the.
see. He mostly Douglas Adams mostly wrote and edited during the late 70s, especially around season 17. So if that was during the Baker time, then I'd probably try to check out those episodes.
Yep, that would have been the Baker time. I'm positive.
Yeah. Because I happen to just be a particularly big fan of Douglas Adams. I think his writing is great.
Yeah,
So I doubt anything that he worked on could be that bad.
Now, I never actually saw the original Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy show. I did see the 2005 movie with Most Def and that's for it.
Yeah, I've experienced everything that's easily available of the Hitchhiker's Guide. The old BBC program, the book, read multiple times. The follow-up books too, even the ones that Adams didn't write, but it was passed on to somebody that he would have trusted. All 5 out of 3, and the more recent movie that. He was still around, I think, when they started production, but he passed away before they finished it, so he never got to see the final movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie that came out 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, we've been on that by now.
I had one buddy that was really into Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I haven't read it or watched anything else other than that movie. And from that movie, it seemed all right.
Yeah. It's also one where it's definitely worth experiencing every version if you like it, because from the outset, Adams always intended for it to be one of those stories that's like different every single time it's done. So like every adaptation of it's completely different. They cover the same stuff, but like the things the characters say and do and how they interact with each other are very, very different depending on the version that you're engaged with.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Depends on how
I don't like that, but it is part of the artistic intent of what Adams was doing. And it has a lot to do with the nature of the improbability drive. There's, which I'm not going to explain that, but there's in-world reason why the story is different every time.
I didn't intend for it, but I actually think I liked the mess up that I sort of did on the jaw. I think it gives us a little bit of character.
Mm-hmm.
I probably need to go over this another time at least. Oh.
Yeah, it looks kind of janky right now.
I'm just gonna take this out there. Just
Yeah, but Rick, you will probably be happy to know that at the pace I'm going, I should hit schedule, and I should have the rulebook and the setting and the campaign, everything I need to start it, done by the end of the month,
Okay.
which means that sometime next month, if we get enough people together, we can kind of go back to doing some tabletop streams.
Oh, that's cool. We do that. We're in the X Dynamis Chaos universe.
Oh yeah. And it'll be in a setting made just for the campaign.
Cool.
You get to play around with however you want. We'll probably start with a one shot, especially because we're like in the game testing phase of everything. But
Yeah.
if we do a longer campaign after the one shot, there's no reason why you can't use the same character from the one shot.
Yeah. Oh, but like I said, I know I should probably do another round. But what do you think so far?
Yeah, I think my opinion holds. I like the overall build of the character. If you tighten up and do another pass, it should be fine. But I think the shape and proportion of the character is pretty good.
Yeah. Roll says, you playing tonight, Rick? If you mean Destiny, probably not. I might do an hour or so after the show of Minecraft because I'm going to be ending around midnight, so I usually go to bed at midnight. My time, of course.
You know what this looks like? It looks like you accidentally created a Digimon.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah. Also, you know what he's reminding me a little bit of? What's his name? Bulkhead from Transformers.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. I could see what you're laying down there.
Okay, so let's merge with layer below.
But this definitely looks like this would either be like the champion or ultimate stage of some digital monster line.
Yeah. Actually, he's looking decent enough that I might... I wonder whether I could somehow fit him into my universe.
Oh yeah, you're looking to reuse as many of these that look decent as possible.
Yeah. He's
Jaws from James Bond.
Yeah, like I'm not sure whether he saw it or not, but I did, Raul. I did a combination of Orko and Toad from the two universes. Torko. So we don't know whether Orko actually has feet, but since Toad has feet, I have them sticking out the bottom. And he just floats everywhere. Just because Toad has feet, I don't know, I wanted to add them. I thought it would be...
The Mario universe actually has some, like, mage-like characters, fortune tellers that aren't unlike Torko.
Yeah, probably the whatchamacallit ones, the evil ones, the Bowser ones.
No, some good ones. They exist specifically in the Paper Mario worlds.
Oh, okay.
They all have like names that are like Merlin. So one of them is Merlin, but there's also like a Merlot, a Merle. There's like a whole family of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to be putting up a video tomorrow morning of me drawing this up and coloring it. But and that's what I forgot to do tonight. I keep meaning to, when I'm doing these things, hit the record buttons. That way I can record this and, then put it up after, shrink it down and put it up after.
Now you have to wait for it to finish processing after the stream to be able to download it and do everything.
Yeah, and well, I can do that easy enough, but if I've got it done, I don't think you go back and record, and it depends on what's going on too in the stream.
Yeah.
I know I should fix this up, but I want to get some color in this guy.
Yeah, it's easier. It is easier just to like time lapse it directly from Clip Studio.
Okay, so we got Rocky wrenches. Let's bring a Rocky wrench in here. And I think the next 2 weeks are going to be good guys. I think it's 2 weeks. And then, of course, the first weekend in June, it's going to be Bowser and Skeletor.
Yep. You gonna go back to doing another girl next time? You're gonna do the Peach and Tila?
Yeah, probably. I just wanted to get another bad guy in beforehand. Yeah, Peach and Tila. Well, what do we got? How many weeks do we got? Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah. Oh, no, we got 4 weeks.
Oh, you got time. You got plenty of time.
So I got 4 that I can do on air. So we're going to have Peach, Tila, Bowser, and Skeletor, Luigi and Man-at-Arms. So I'm not sure what the other one I should do. But as a...
Probably just don't decide now, right? Because if you do a couple other ones off air, you may not even know which ones you want to do. So it'd be better just like to leave the spot open until maybe the week before it.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I'm thinking is, it's the harder ones, I guess I'd like to do on air.
Yeah.
Harder or more popular, take your pick. And just I figure Tila I have to do, Tila and Peach I have to do on air. Obviously, I think Luigi I have to do on air too. And Bowser definitely at that, at that I've got Birdo and Catra, Daisy and Shira. I think those should both be done off air. Madame Raz and Toadette, again, I think should be done off air, just because they're all technically Shira characters.
Reset.
And actually, everything else is villains. So we got Dragodon and Whiplash, Megaleg and Triclops, which I'm thinking might be a bad pairing. Spike Top and Spikor, and Wario and Faker.
Wario. I love Wario. Wario's so good. He was one of my favorites growing up.
Raker.
One of my favorites.
We could call him Raker. Waker. I'm not sure.
I am a Wario. I am a number one.
So between the Whiplash one, the Triclops, Spikor, or Faker, which one do you think I should do? Or do you think I should try for somebody else?
I think you definitely. You know what? I had a gut instinct, but now I'm questioning it. So no, you just flip a coin, man.
Yeah.
Roll a dice, whatever you got to do.
Okay, so let's see. We got trying to. This is weird, you know. Chop Chop. He has a green face and a blue body.
Yeah.
And then we got this guy with brownish fur and whitish fur. You know what? We're gonna go with his furryish color.
Okay, I'm gonna go walk away from the mic for a little bit. Okay.
After these messages, he won't be right back. No. I would probably get some other color in here.
Yeah, I accidentally, yeah, you paint them now. It
Yeah,
probably look better painted, but any
yeah,
painting looked just like a robot. Like I couldn't would not be able to tell he wasn't a robot. It's not painted, but it's not clear that he has fur. So
yeah. Well, I'm not even sure whether he has fur. Yes, I'm using the same color as the whatchamacallit guy, but you know, Trapjaw doesn't have fur, so maybe he's just the same color as the guy's fur. So I don't know. Okay, so I guess we'll take the blue from.
that's all you heard those noises. That's a bag. There's a plastic bag.
Oh, I thought I got bluish color there, but let's do it. Okay, I think we're gonna make that blue too. Make that.
I
Oh,
forgot to mention this. But my universe, I plan to have Transformers, at least something very similar to Transformers that exist in outer space.
Cool. I know I am too.
Uh,
Cool. I know I
they're
am
called
too.
the Ultrabots. They
Ultrabots?
mentioned I mentioned Romo and Krim because Romo and Krim, that one animation I made, which if you're not paying attention to the dialogue, well, you probably couldn't understand the dialogue. But if you watch the subtitled version, Romo mentions what's called the Ultrabots. They're supposed to be like an in-universe, my own version of Transformers.
Okay, that's cool. I know I have my own version. They're called Cyber Droids. They're actually created by my character, The Wiz.
No, but the Autobots are created by an alien race called well the actual name of the species is the Cretans, but everyone else just calls them the Bugs because they're basically like somewhere in between a shrimp and a crawfish.
I'm alive.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's
Like,
just.
I was talking about the Ultrabots concept. I mentioned I had Romo mention that in the Romo and Krim pilot. If you actually pay attention to the dialogue in the subtitle version.
I did, but it's also been a
Oh.
while, so I don't remember much.
Yeah, but also Ultrabots are like my universe version of Transformers. But they're created by the Bugs, as they're called, which are like these aliens that look somewhere between shrimp and crawfish.
Yeah.
They create these knockoff Transformers that exist in my universe.
Yeah. And I just told them I have them too. You know, mine are called Cyber Droids, and they're created by my character, The Wiz. Eventually, you know, part of them or half of them are going to rebel or whatever, and thus creating the good versions and the bad ones.
Yeah, well, I still don't exactly know what I'm going to do with the Ultrabots. I know they're going to be they're essentially allies of the Bugs, of course, obviously. But the Bugs are going to be mostly good guys. So
Ah, yeah, but the only good bug's a dead bug.
these like shrimp crawfish aliens. So of course they're good Bugs.
Yeah, but they're not dead, so are they good?
I just can't resist a Starship Troopers reference. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew it.
These Bugs are not like the ones in Starship Troopers. So
We didn't think they were. It's just.
Raul says, "Okay, I'm ready to draw the Wiz and Cyber Droids book."
Yeah, that's a.
I hope I will be. I probably the next
Rick isn't ready to
new
pay for the
computer.
Wiz and Cyber Droid books.
The new computer that's on the way will have a graphics card, so I should be able to get Romo and Krim episode 2 out pretty fast. Once I rebuild the
good.
models.
When it's close, I'll let Flip know.
So no more painfully hoping my computer doesn't crash just making the planet or anything like that, or taking a month to render an animation, something like that.
Actually, I have to let Flip know when we're close to playing that campaign. I'm sure he's gonna want to hop on too.
Yeah, well, I have a friend that might want to too.
Yeah, I'm not, of course, because I don't. No, I'm probably not. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, somehow I assume I think we both assume you would be up for
You know
it.
what? I actually made no assumption one way or the other there.
But because I remember I was like 2 years ago in a friend's Warhammer 40K tabletop game, and my first character turned traitor, and then we had to have a whole session fighting through my character's forces to kill him.
Yeah,
So you probably don't want no mess like that.
Listen, the way I GM I kind of let players do what they want to do for the most part. Though typically you do kind of want everybody going into the game on the same page. But I kind of let people just make the characters they want to make, and then I let the consequences of their actions come and bite them in the butt.
So,
As in, you should understand,
Right.
like, the players all love each other, as far as the word love can actually go in this circumstance. But Rick can tell you, a lot of the characters, like the actual characters the players were playing, hate each other in our last campaign. I don't know if Manly Cougar does, because I don't know if he has, like, the capacity to know that the other characters hate him or not, but a lot of the characters hate each other.
Even if he knew, he probably just wouldn't care. He's gonna be.
Yeah.
I still remember that speech on the session just before the session where they had to fight my character, in which I said, look, just imagine a world where casinos line the streets, a world where thinking machines patrol, a world where people can buy mutations freely. That, that was for Pope Metallica's his character. He said, "I'm definitely throwing a grenade." Yeah.
I was also thinking about it, Rick. If Dillard doesn't come back, I don't even know if we could ever play that other campaign again. Uh, without, like, almost everyone except for you rolling a new character. Because
What?
the way we left off, Booty was pretty much the only thing keeping Borovo in the group. So Borovo probably would have went off on his own, which, you know, Flit and I agreed if that happens, Borovo would become like an NPC and Flit would be rolling a new character, right? Buck has to roll a new character anyway. So, like, I think the only people who'd keep their characters are you and Marsupial.
Yeah.
And he would basically show up like 2 weeks later with you just sitting there waiting for him. And he's like, where's everyone else?
We'd have to explain Booty just. Butte getting whatever happened to him somehow on
And we'd have to introduce, like, I'd have to find ways, which it'd be easy. I would have to introduce Buck's character anyway. But, like, I'd also have to find a way to introduce whatever Flit's new characters. Like, we'd almost be starting over anyway, just, you know.
in the second
campaign, that's a continuation of the previous part.
But, well, the thing is, maybe we could find a way to keep Flit's character in. I'm not sure how. Besides, as an
No, I think unless Booty was still there.
what?
In fact, if anything, I would probably make them both NPCs wandering around together.
Yeah, they go off to try and do this quest themselves, right?
Speaking of new characters, new characters. I'm like, I realized how long it's been since I've last read Ice Cream Man. It's like been like 5 years. Damn. Uh, the Ice Cream Man, the anthology horror comic.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
but I still remember the second issue to this day where the crackhead couple, where the couple where they was both on they both got on heroin real bad, and they started robbing people to get coke, and then that was their entire life from that point on. And was the guy and his girlfriend, but then eventually the woman steals the ice cream truck. They want to find some more coke, and it was literally the Ice Cream Man's ice cream truck. But and then she runs into like an elderly couple, and then she robs them after she ran over their car. Now the husband like dies, but But she dies at the end of issue 2. She ODs on coke that the Ice Cream Man gave her.
Okay.
Gave her some free coke. No.
Well, I think that was a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that's per the course, isn't it?
Yeah, I would be surprised otherwise at this point. Rick, do you want to volunteer for tribute?
Oh, what is that?
Obviously, I had to ask first before I told you. On the same conversation, once I get everything ready and right before we do the campaign, obviously I'm going to want whether it's a stream or a video, to showcase how to go through the character creation thing.
Yeah.
So somebody, one of the players needs to volunteer for tribute to be in that stream or video. And as somebody who is already making content all the time, you would probably have less of a problem being on stream or in a video for displaying that thing than maybe some of the other people who are more acceptable being on stream when they're in the whole group.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no problem doing
I figured
that.
you would. But I had to ask anyway.
Yeah, I get you. It's just like, what the heck is it? What do you mean by this?
We're just gonna sacrifice you to some pagan god, the typical weekend. That does sound like the other direction that question could go.
Volunteer me for tribute. You want me to pay who? With what? For why?
Scooby-Doo the movie. He's like, you're going to be a sacrifice. A sacrifice?
No, it's like, is it your own tabletop system? It's like,
I'm building my own system.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, why would we have somebody have somebody make a video as a guy?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't need to show off somebody else's system, but
because
this one will be put up on like the X Dynamis Chaos YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah, because I think even last year I was somebody else's homebrew system, like the Stain Files, and it's a server meeting Ethereal Dragon on in. I'm like, I had to drop out of this game because I just got too busy with my own personal projects and my side channel and stuff.
Oh, that's just how it goes.
No, but I know that one funny thing about that campaign was that my characters kept dying. I had to keep making new characters. I had to keep making new characters. Like I went through like 4. I think I cycled through like 4 characters. That's it.
Did they keep dying because the other people kept killing them, or?
No, it's just that the GM, the storyline kept killing my characters accidentally with the roles like I had to just keep making new characters.
Okay, so it was only the one character that people killed.
That was another entirely different tabletop game.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in general. That was like that's the only time that happened to you.
Yes, and that was specifically a 40K game. And now you see why that happened.
Yeah, but everybody dies in 40K like all the time.
No. My character decided to go heretic of the first character, and then
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's 40K. I mean, it's grimdark, right? Like if any game you're gonna have somebody's character do that, it's 40K.
So.
But if you don't understand the saying of 40K, Rick, it's set in the hyper theocratic government in the future, in the far future, where everyone worships this emperor who's basically a corpse. It's confusing.
The majority of the scene, but it's only if you focus on like humanity.
Although I think I played a little bit of it. I think I have one of them
the
or whatever.
Imperium of Man.
Yeah, but that's the only thing anyone cares about. So no one cares about any of these other races.
No.
Like no one cares about Eldar.
Orc is pretty popular. Now you get more niche the further you get away from that, but Orc is pretty popular.
Yeah.
Then we'll know you never see like an orc game or anything, like orc field game or anything like that.
And Raul,
Usually the humans killing them, but there should be an orc game. Orc game would be great.
and I have
Strangely
to.
enough, there was a tile game back in the early 2000s.
Raul, Wiz is spelled with an H before the IZ and after the W. But, yeah. But yeah, that I have a bunch. I could send you a couple of cyber droids. I actually want to make up a turnaround, and if I can, hopefully I'll have the money. Well, maybe not the next time I see him, but I'd love to get James Reyes to do one of my Transformers. Drop one of my
Part of
trans.
the reason why I
come
did
out
that.
really well. If he
Part of the reason why I did that turn trader because I just don't like the 40K setting.
Yeah.
I just don't,
Why did you play a 40K cam?
because one of my friends is in, it, so I'm like, I don't hate the setting, but I never was a fan of it. It's like, whatever. So I'm just having fun, and plus I was seeding in hints that the other players were not picking up on, but that my character was a traitor ahead of time anyway.
Raul's like, do it. Ooh. I know I didn't do another pass at doing the stuff and all that for this character, but I put in some colors. What do you think of the colors?
Yeah, I think they're fine enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I need to tighten it.
Like, make a lot of decisions on where the color should be between how very different the palettes are between these two characters.
A setting I actually like is, unfortunately, it's setting of Fallout, for example. That's a setting I like.
Yeah, you could run a tabletop game in Fallout setting. That'd be pretty easy.
There's an official tabletop game.
Okay, I was going to ask. I'd be surprised if there wasn't an official rule set for it.
Well, I'm not sure. I'd probably have to pay to do it, but at one point I would like to try and do a cross comics type thing for,
Well, if I finish mine, which I told you before, it's going to be the main rule set, not any like the settings or anything, is going to effectively be open source. Since it is built to handle superheroics, we could probably work on making you like a modified version.
Cool. Because, although I probably would never run the campaign. Go ahead.
You just want the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a tabletop role-playing game would actually fit my universe. I think a tabletop war game set in space would fit the space side of it. But I don't think like a traditional role-playing game like would fit the superheroes and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. I have a very, very, I would say, disparate universe where there's a lot of different things in it. So that's why I am like focusing really hard on making this work, because I want it to work for functionally everything. So I just need a base version of the rule set that anybody can run that's mostly focused on how things work on Earth, and then I can get add-ons for different settings.
Mm-hmm.
That's the focus right now.
Yeah. Because, well, I was just going to say, not that I would ever probably run a campaign with it. It's sort of the option, but it's just because, in some ways, I'd like to run a campaign, but I wouldn't know where to start to do something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether I could.
I would have to I'd have to build you a module to run of your own stuff if you wanted to start it.
Yeah, and then even if you did that, I'm not sure whether I could do it properly, because, although I'm not
I would build
too
it
bad.
That like the out of the box campaigns are, where it teaches you how to run the campaign as you're going through it.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking that storytelling or whatever. I'm not sure what aspect how I would put it to say whether I'd be good at that part.
Yeah, well, it is a skill. It's something you develop, but I think for the most part, people shouldn't be worried about being good at it,
Alright.
right? When you start off, it's something that you kind of just build towards, which is why it's better to start with like prefab campaigns because they teach you the things you need to know, and then you can worry about getting good at it later.
Yeah, and I guess that's my worry. It's like, oh, I think everybody's just gonna hate me as a DM or a GM, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I don't know if you're nice about it, if you're
well,
patient, you know, it's most
it's
people
GM for every
are,
table.
well, not every.
Yeah, for every tabletop game outside of the D&D. Well, some tabletop games have their own specialized
Well,
game
some of them
master.
also use DM if they are a dungeon focused one, like Pathfinder also still uses DM, but Pathfinder it's kind of like a you know, like a branch of people who weren't happy with Dungeons and Dragons.
but like for the term the World of Darkness uses, for example, a storyteller for the DM. The GM is called the storyteller.
But Game Master is just kind of like the catch-all term.
Mhm.
And we're using GM in the one that I'm making too, just because I prefer Game Master.
Mhm.
And since we're not, you know, focused on dungeoning as like a main thing, not that we can't have a setting where you go into dungeons, but that's like not the point of the entire playstyle or rule set. We're going to go with the catch-all Game Master.
Yeah.
Funny enough, even though the game's focus isn't on none of the game's focus is on dungeon crawling. There is actually most literal definition of dungeon in the World of Darkness setting. A lot of times, like especially if you play the games, real games. Like there are some literal dungeons you go into, like some like underground prisons.
Yeah. I'm sure. I can imagine, given the setting, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
wouldn't
it's a modern
surprise.
day setting, but
Well,
they're like
there's a lot of old blood people too, so there should be some.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, heck,
It's a lot of old blood people.
you could have a superhero one and them go into dungeons. So.
No, not really.
Yeah, it depends what you mean. Like, dude, like Luther's Tower could functionally be a dungeon if you have to scale it to get to where he is.
Yeah, or if they're, or maybe they're chasing after some ancient god, or they're chasing after some,
or you end up on an alien planet or something like,
or some magician. Like they could end up in a dungeon.
In World of Darkness cases, it's because there's a lot of old blood people. So you encounter. So there's going to be some castles and there's going to be some literal dungeons.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah,
I don't know a lot about the setting, but there's just stuff like that it just kind of makes sense. But I mean, yeah, there have been comics where superheroes have gone into dungeons.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, yeah, that happened like Initial Daredevil, I believe. Oh, Initial Daredevil. That's Fast 4. I know that had to happen several times because they always go on to Doom's Tower.
Dude, a lot of old Fantastic Four stuff feel like tabletop campaigns before there were even tabletop campaigns, right? Like the idea that it's like, okay, here's your party of 4 people. Not all of them even really get along in any way. Like they have different dynamics between each person. And it's like, oh, this new villain shows up out of nowhere who kind of has a history with one of you, but we're not going to explain it yet. And now he's suddenly sending you back in time to deal with pirates. That sounds very tabletop-y. Before tabletop games were even a thing, so.
Yeah.
Before, I think it's like, what, they headed off by just under a decade, but.
Oh,
I
crap.
guess you could say tabletop is a thing before that, if you count all forms of tabletop, like board games,
like chess and stuff.
Chess, yeah. But like the type of war games were already starting to be a thing, but the type of like role playing games that we're talking about,
that wasn't things
really
like
a thing
70s,
for almost a
mid-70s.
decade, yeah.
I think Fitz
I'm
is.
thinking. I'm just thinking about. I'm just thinking about Doom. Was uh, like has Doom outgrown the Fantastic Four? I'm not sure because a lot of comics have him dealing with Iron Man for some reason.
I mean, Doom works against anyone. It's a very,
I
very
know.
flexible villain.
I know he's pretty flexible, but the thing is, I don't know why they just comic writers specifically have him tangling with Iron Man mythos a lot. Like why?
Oh, probably because Iron Man has more comics than the Fantastic Four. Like, we've gone through entire periods where there's not even a Fantastic Four comic running.
Yeah, well, there's also the fact that they're both geniuses, and they're both in armor.
Wear armor.
Yeah.
But that's where the connection stops. So.
Basically, you should also see Doom tangling with Doctor Strange a lot, especially since canonically they made it to where he was the runner-up for the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, there's a lot of people they could. Part of it is just because Iron Man pretty much always has a comic running, right? So because of their somewhat similarities, it's somebody they can throw him up. He still shows up in Fantastic Four when there is a Fantastic Four comic running, but there's not always
plus they're hardly even using a lot of old Iron Man villains anymore. Like, when's the last time Mandarin showed up? I don't even know.
Yeah, but well, the other question is, how would we even know? We don't read Iron Man stuff on a regular basis.
That's true. I don't read any of the new stuff. I couldn't even tell you what's running right now.
Yeah, but from what I heard, they like from most recent stuff I've read, like it was 6 years old now. They kind of stopped using Mandarin. So, for a long period of time.
I know they don't like the Mandarin. I don't know if they're not using him right now, but
why? Why not Mandarin? Why not like Mandarin? What's the issue?
He's Chinese.
That's the
How is that an issue?
Because of China.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, you're thinking about this from a comics reader perspective, and not the fact that there are suits telling them what they can and can't do. Even in the comics, knowing that they don't sell, they're like, yeah, we don't really want you working with this guy.
No, but look, I don't understand. Well, would China give a shit about Mandarin being Chinese?
About whether China actually gives a shit. It's about the people in charge. That's what I'm trying to get through to you.
Like, he is Chinese. Like, he's not allied with the Chinese government. He's not even associated with the Chinese government.
Yeah,
I don't think we can spell this out anymore.
Yeah, he may not be, but the people that are in charge don't want to be offensive to Chinese people that might be reading the comic. It's all about political. Yeah, it's about political correctness. What they think.
It's actually more offensive to show a villain because of his race, than when you already have a Chinese man.
Try explaining that to them, because plenty of people have tried before.
Because Mandarin is basically a Chinese villain on the level of Doctor Doom. So it's actually more offensive to show him than using it.
Yeah, well, that may be the case, and I agree with you, and I think Metal agrees with you. But these people are not the brightest bulbs in the bunch. They've.
I always like to mix my metaphors. I like brightest bulb in the tool shed.
It's like,
especially since it's like should be plugged in anyway.
Like even DC. I don't think DC does DC shelve Black Manta now? Like, I'm confused. What?
I can't.
I don't read any of their stuff.
Yeah, again, we're not. Like the only one that heck, there's only about one person that I know that's not reading this stuff that might know the answer to these couple of questions about whether they're using these characters or not, or when they last used them, and that's Mike, because he's up reading on this stuff, in his articles.
Well, I know somebody who probably knows all the answers on the DC end, because he's just specifically a DC aficionado. I'm not going to ask him because I don't care about the answer that much.
Yeah.
That would be Hutch from You Lousy Kids. Like Hutch would know if I really wanted the answer. I don't.
Yeah.
But it's this type of mentality that we're trying to explain is also precisely the reason why, at least I assume to some degree Rick too, don't read the comics anymore, because it's the people who are in charge of the comics that are responsible for why we're getting bad comics.
Yeah.
It's like the writers' politics state that we can't have a villain who's a different skin color than the hero, or different eye shape, or something.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunately the state of the world today, and
Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it,
It's the state of that
especially
industry.
it's like well, like what does Mandarin being Chinese have to? How's that having to fight a white guy? How's that racist? He's not even fighting
Once
him
you
on the basis
leave
of race.
the
Well,
old guard corporate industry and move into the indie scene, all kinds of cool things open up. And you're like, wow, it does exist a world where people aren't stupid.
yeah. The thing
He's not
is,
fighting him on the basis
yeah.
of race. So like what the hell?
Well, see, it isn't racist, but they're thinking, oh, because we're having a Chinese person as a villain, that's racist. And it's partly due to, like, umpteen numbers of years ago, all the villains were, well, maybe not all, but a lot of the villains were Chinese or Oriental, Asian, and they drew them in a...
during World War II during propaganda, but that was
Yeah, and they also used to
really,
be more racial stereotypes than they are now too. That was like a big thing.
Yeah, but even then, Mandarin, even in his early days, Mandarin was never affiliated with the Chinese government, though. That's still a thing.
Yeah, but it's
So-
not. It's not about.
Like what?
It's not about being affiliated.
With the racial stereotype of Chinese mysticism. Or
Yeah.
He is affiliated
mysticism more than anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and that's more it. Yeah, and well, nobody
Not
cares.
that offensive, just on its own.
And nobody. It's not about the fact that whether he's affiliated or not with the government. It's that he is Chinese and a villain, and as Metal said, he's doing the mysticism. So that's a stereotype. So that's offensive to people that don't read the.
now.
Now, I'll tell you, I like the Mandarin. I think he's a cool villain. My opinion doesn't mean jack squat, though. So
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, is Ancient One offensive too?
yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Remember, they recasted Tilda Swinton, a Celtic woman, woman of Celtic descent, as the Ancient One instead, for that exact reason. Because it's okay to associate that stuff with white people. That's how the industry works.
Yeah, because white man bad.
But isn't that cultural appropriation though?
It is. It absolutely is. But none of these people are bright. None of them. None of them. It's also why I don't like talking about it. Like, I got sick about talking about these subjects years ago.
Yeah.
And then once a week, Crow sends me something I don't want to see. I'm like, why do you send me Modern Marvel stuff? You know I don't like this stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I'll admit, probably the reason I'm not reading a lot of it nowadays is because, I used to get my stuff off the high seas, and it dried up getting it off the high seas. And so I stopped reading it, but, I still like comic books, so, I focus on my own stuff. And then I started this YouTube channel, and, well, that's been more of my life than trying to read all these freaking comic books. I buy some friends' comic books that I think I'll like, and unfortunately I haven't bought much of your stuff, Metal, off YouTube, off Amazon.
Here's the thing. I tell everyone, because most of my stuff right now, I don't have anything that's exclusively premium. That's some of the stuff I'm working on. But it's like, if people want to support X Dynamis Chaos, they can just donate a small amount directly to the site. You can read everything on the website.
Yeah, I know. I'm more. I used to, like I said, I got it off the high seas, and I would read it on the computer all the time. But now I'm more apt if I can have it in my hand. I might go read it. Then again, I got a whole bunch of comic books here. Oh, I didn't. Did I? Oh, I
How
didn't.
many comic books do you own that you've never read, Rick?
Yeah, not as many as you think, but
Decent percent.
probably like only 5%. But let's see. Let me put my webcam on for a sec. You see those comics up there? There are a lot of graphic novels that I bought at the dollar store. I don't think I've read. I think I've maybe read one or two, and I haven't even finished them.
Yeah.
So
Like it's like it's we also want to ask, well, how come most comic book creators outside of Marvel and DC don't want to create new superheroes? And it's seemingly.
Listen, I don't have an answer for you, man. Because you've asked this question before. I've given you my speculation. I'm not going to
have I?
speculate.
Like, when did I do that?
Yeah, you have.
but
Months ago when we were in call. But Rick wants to end the show. It's past time.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, just to quickly answer his question, because everybody has different interests, and a lot of people that are doing it aren't into superheroes. I am, and there are actually probably a lot more out there than what you realize. Places that you would go to find that is, of course, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and Funko. Yes.
Is the originality of the superheroes, Ryan? But that still also comes down to interest. People want to write what they want to write.
Yeah, write what they know.
They just want to write Superman because they like Superman.
Yeah. You write what you know, and that's what they know. Well, hopefully they know. And, there's nothing new under the sun either. So, you're going to find everything is a repeat of something.
They just gave up. So they just gave up. Say why bother creating something unique and just
I
say
don't even know if they gave up. They probably just didn't care about the same things that you care about.
Yeah, and the thing is there anything really unique left to create? There's nothing new under the sun.
Oh, I mean, I have a bunch of ideas that I've talked about before.
Yeah, and just because we're hearing them from you,
I might seem like the only person though. So.
Yeah, but you know what? There's 8 billion people on the planet. I'm sure somebody else has similar ideas, or almost the exact same idea. But as Metal said, I am trying. It is after 8. I'm gonna finish this up, coloring it probably tomorrow. I gotta put up last week's and all that online too. Or no, I didn't I? I'm not sure. There's a few I gotta put up. Anyways, Metal, anything you would like to promote?
Yes. Actually, I would. Same thing I usually promote, xitamischaos.com.
Same as usual.
Which we will be working on that tabletop. That's one more thing that if people want to enjoy something for free, like the tabletop rules will be up there when they're done, you can always just donate to the website to support it freely. Like all that stuff's up there. It's free for your enjoyment. So anyway, if you have an extra buck, donate it.
Yeah. And as Joe's already said, he has nothing. And well, I'll say thank you for both of you coming on. And I'm just going to now up on Amazon, Canadian Shield #1. You get it from Canadian Amazon, American Amazon, I think all the different Amazon in all the countries out there for whatever your dollar is. I know it's $10 American. So, you're saving some money on shipping than when it would be coming from me. And, of course, it's a little different in the thing because they do not print on the inside cover for whatever stupid reason.
Because they treat it like it's just a regular paperback.
Yeah. So, this page, instead of being here, is here. And then, of course, somehow, although it's got 28 pages or whatever, we have a couple blank pages at the back. So if you ever get one and you see me at a convention, maybe you want me to draw the Canadian Shield in it for you, I'll do that. And of course I'll sign it too if you want. But yeah, up on Amazon. And if you have the shipping with Prime, you get it shipped for free. So, you don't pay any shipping. So it's less than getting it from me. So, which is why I put it up on Amazon to begin with. At least if you're in a... Go ahead.
I was saying I should really get the chapters that are up on Amazon in physical print form.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can get it there, which the only place that you can get this, well, not this version, of course, because it's Metal's cover, too. The only place you can get a Canadian Shield cheaper with shipping and all that, or without shipping, or however you want to say it, is in Canada for me. Like $5 for shipping in Canada to Canada. So, $5 for the thing. And of course, that's Canadian dollars, not American. So, but anyways, yeah. So go check, for those that haven't yet, go check it out. Hopefully buy it. Give me a good review. That way I'll get spread out some more. And yeah, again, thank you, Metal, for coming on. Thanks, Fitzjoseph, for coming on. Thanks for everybody in the chat for coming by. It was great having everybody here. I will be back tomorrow night. I'm not sure whether I'll have any special guests on. I've got to contact them, see whether they want to come on. Hero Shack is running a campaign for their issue 10 of The Great Cyclopean, which is a book worth getting. So, yeah. Catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful night, day, whatever it might be for you. Love y'all.